Hello and welcome to Absent Mind Dyslexia Stories. I'm your host Rachel and welcome to episode... I'm not really sure, I think it's episode 7? Probably episode 7, could be wrong, but the title will correct me. But what I do remember is that last episode we were covering the characteristics of a dyslexic adult in maths and time management. I came across a website called Dyslexia.com. Oh, that's my research from there. Our next and probably last points: reading, writing and spelling. So the first point is, if it stops jumping around, difficulty reading unfamiliar fonts. I don't usually have a problem with reading different fonts. I don't really like those curly fonts, which is all close together and all fancy. I can't really understand a word or a letter it's supposed to type out. Yeah, for like letters that are on their own, not joined up. I mean, some can join up, but I still want the word to be understandable and not in a complete utter mess. Also, you may notice that it's a lot more daylight here, and if you hear like loads of traffic, then again it's daylight, and it's about 1:10 in the afternoon, and it's a Tuesday afternoon, so it's going to be loads of traffic. Yes, I'm going to record last night, but I was doing some other videos, a vlog and a challenge. But enough of that, you can see that later on my channel. Or you can find it, so when this comes out it's going to be pushed back somewhere, I don't know. YouTube is funny. Okay, before I keep yammering on. Next point. Avoids reading out loud. May dislike public speaking. Yeah, that's me all over there. That is me all over. Yes, I don't like reading. Apart from this. I want to get all this information out to everyone and explain what I go through every day. And I'd help some people. And I'm giving my experience out there to other people who are wondering. Yes. When I do presentations, I don't like that because it's so stressing and I muddle up. Get all weird and Next point. Will commonly perceive that they read better silently. Yes, that's me, that's me. I always seem to read better when I'm reading in my head rather than out loud, because how I can explain it is I can read here, but when it comes down to here, it just goes all over the place, which feels like it to me, but I don't know if it does in other places. I don't know. If that's a scientific thing, then let it be, but do what you may with that point. And if my voice sounds a bit croaky, which I think it feels like it though, again, it's like the first thing I've actually spoke about already today, so I've not had a whole day to warm up my voice. So, it feels husky, but apparently on the outside it might sound a bit horrible, and I hope it's not that horrible. I hope I'm just a bit more has adopted compensatory tricks to remember spelling and hormones. Hormones? Oh, I don't know. Other words. like there, or misuses, I'm gonna say hormones, I don't know how to read it. Homonyms. HOMONYMS. That's a weird word. And has poor or inconsistent phonics spelling. So, what this is saying is a dyslexic adult will have tricks to spell there correctly, like there as in their shoes is THEIR, and I'm going over there. No, you can't see me pointing, I'm pointing. Going over there is THEIE. I know how to spell it, but I'm reading it at the same time. And there is as in they're going to go over there is THEY-RE. Wow, my voice is husky. Must have been the chubby bunnies. Yeah, honestly, I kind of covered that problem up when I was a dyslexic child and became a dyslexic teen. So I don't really have much problem sorting out with the theirs and twos and other words that sound the same but don't spell the same way. But if you're a dyslexic adult and you do that, that's probably one thing we were think about. Again, I can't really put much of my input in it because I've grown up with dyslexia and not just recently found out about it. Reading fluency and comparison fluctuates depending upon subject matter. Depending on subject matter, again, this goes back to another episode a while back where I talk about schools and kids should be able to do what subjects they want. If you're good at a subject, then you'll read or do better in it. But if you're going to do a subject that's not good or whatever, then you're going to be a bit rubbish. I'm not sure what this point is telling me, but I'm going to take it or leave it with educational factors of subjects, English, maths and science and all that. Frequently has to reread sentences. There we go. Frequently has to reread sentences in order to comprehend. Yeah, that's me all over, because I just recently did that in my little script. Make sure that I get the words out or understand what it's telling me. Which, during all my life I have been doing this, and it's the only way to get the sentence up in my head and understand what it's telling me. Often I always reread multiple times. Mostly twice or 3 times at tops. Fatigues or becomes bored quickly while reading. Yeah. I think I talked about where reading can... when I read, I always see a black haze over some text if I'm reading black on white, or if I'm reading white on black, I see a white haze. Yeah, so I always... Yeah, and it also prints loads of lines over my eyes, and it'll take a while to get rid of them. And yeah, that always makes my eyes really rough and tired. And I want to stop reading after a while. I know my voice is going as well. Yeah, if you get fed up with reading and you just want to do something else, then that's one characteristic. reliance on others, assistants, spouses, significant others for written correspondence. So what that means is they want people to double check what they've written. Sometimes I let family members or friends read important things that I wrote, just to make sure that it's all correct and everything. I'll try to read everything. Sometimes I read a whole lot. Read or write a whole lot of text. It takes me a while to do. But yeah, I always like to have something to double check because most of the time I always get something messed up. Uncertainty with words, punctuation and spelling when writing. Reliance on spell check and grammar check. Yeah, that's me. That's me again. This goes back to the subjects in school. You need to learn the fabrics of proper grammar and punctuation at an early age. But in this case, where you found it difficult to do, and in a day and age where we have spell check and grammar check, we are very lucky to have it, because who else will look at our work and think, oh, this person knows what they're doing, because they know how to spell and grammar. Which is my personal thought, because when I write something in a certain way, I always feel that people will see my work and think I'm not all that intelligent because I don't put the correct punctuation or spelling into the document. And most people need to understand that written language is not a form of intelligence, it's just a subject. There are other things that people can gain their intellect over, like again with creative studies, like art, media, performing arts, all that. Anything that's based around creativity. Oh, nearly done. 3 more points. Words out of context looked wrong. Yeah. That just recently happened when I was reading this. When I was talking about there, and there, the word hormones, I probably pronounced it incorrectly again, but it looked totally wrong on my screen. I know it's spelled correctly because I copied and pasted it off the site. Now hopefully it's spelled correctly. I don't even know because it's a word that I don't often look at. But yeah, there's always certain words that I've not seen or don't often see that always crop up, and I think, is that the correct spelling? You will say yes it is, but it doesn't look right. It looks all messed up. Surely there could have been an I in there or an A in there. Yeah, that's what happens to me. Poor handwriting, mask spelling mistakes. Yeah, again, that's a big characteristic. Masks, I'm not really sure what that means. Probably scribble out mistakes. I don't know. Again, I don't often do any writing by hand. So if there is like poor spelling, I just end up deleting it and trying it again. But if you out there do this, then it's worth thinking about. Again, do what you may with this point. I'm not sure what to put forward into it, but someone out there may make use of it. And the last point for this episode, writing all capital letters or mixes capital letters within words, abbreviates words frequently. sometimes when I feel that my handwriting is really, really bad on a certain day, I go into capital letters, but again, I don't often do any writing, but I have noticed this from my dad, because he always writes in capital letters, because he always says, "Oh, I have bad handwriting, I might as well, that's why I write in capital letters." It's not American, it doesn't have an American accent. Yeah, he probably just has rubbish handwriting because he doesn't do handwriting. Yeah, he does do it in capital letters. I'm not sure if he abbreviates them. Everything he writes is in capital letters. It looks like he's shouting. Makes a shopping list. I want milk! So yeah, that's the end of that episode. In the next episode, I think it's the last one, behaviour, health and personality. So, I hope you enjoyed episode probably 7. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again in the next episode. See you later, guys.